As iPhone sensors become larger with every passing year, so does the depth of field get reduced, particularly when shooting up close. One technique to overcome this problem is to capture photos at differing focus points, also called focus bracketing, and merging them with a focus stacking app. In this video, we present two options for focus bracketing, each having its own advantages and disadvantages. The first option is to use a manual camera app. For this example, I'll be using Lightroom Camera, which comes with the Lightroom mobile app. To demonstrate, from the Lightroom tab, I'll tap the Lightroom Camera button. Let's take focus brackets of this figurine. This figurine is actually pretty difficult to get totally sharp with just one shot, primarily due to the disparity in the position of the hand, which is much closer to the camera compared to the body. This is made more difficult because we are shooting up close, which produces an even narrower depth of field. I'll set the mode to Pro. I'll tap on the focus option. By default, it is set to auto. I'll drag the slider to set focus on a particular point. You can tell which part of the object is in focus through the overlaid peaking highlights. Next, I'll take the shot. There, our first bracket is captured. I'll repeat the steps until all the areas of an image have been accounted for. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this option? In terms of advantages, the main one is it is a free app. There's no need to download a special app. In addition, you have the option of shooting in RAW, which is not available in our second option. How about disadvantages? The main disadvantage is this process is much more tedious and time-consuming compared to automated methods. Secondly, it can be less precise. You can see it is hard to see from the peaking highlights which specific point is actually being targeted. Thirdly, since this process involves repeatedly tapping the screen to set focus, there is a good chance you will inadvertently move the device, which will negatively impact image alignment and sharpness. Once all the shots are done, this will be saved into the Lightroom library, which you can export to your PC and merge with your favorite focus stacking editor. We'll see the results in a moment. But before that, let's look at our second option. The second option is to use an automated method. In this case, we will be using our partner app Aurahdr 8 camera's new autofocus bracketing mode. To demonstrate, let's take focus brackets of the same figurine. The first step is to specify the nearest point that needs to be in focus. Looking at this figurine, it should be the fingers in the outstretched hand. If unsure which point is the closest, you can always tap some candidate points and view the lens position value. The lower the value, the nearer the point. By the way, as a tip, if the lens position is showing 0, it means you are probably too close to the subject and the iPhone cannot properly focus at that position. So move the object further back. Next, select your settings. For this case, I'll select 20 for the number of brackets to ensure I can cover the entire image. 10 is also a good number. I'll set the focus increment to 2 for a more granular focusing, although 3 will also work well for most close-ups. Next, I'll take the shot. Based on our settings, Aurahdr 8 will take 20 shots starting from the initial focus point and continually increment the focus point after each shot. So what is the advantage of this method? First, as you may have observed, this process is much simpler. There's no need to continually focus on various points. Second, it is much more precise as the focus is incremented at tiny intervals without human intervention, and there is very little chance a particular point is not covered. Third, the possibility of accidentally moving the device by touching the screen is practically nil. Once the shooting is done, all the brackets will be saved onto the photo library. I'll transfer the photos to my PC and import into Luminar Neo. So here I am in Luminar Neo. To focus stack is as simple as one step. Simply drag the images into the corresponding panel. And there you go. Focus stacking is done. Here is a single bracket. and here is the focus stacked bracket. Here is the focus stacked image with the brackets manually taken with Lightroom camera. As you can see, while much better than the original, there are some softer areas that were missed. Here is the focus stacked image with Aura HDR8. As you can see, a much sharper image. So those are the two options for focus bracketing. Hope you found this video helpful. Do consider checking out our partner app, Aura HDR8 Camera, on the Apple App Store, the best app for computational photography on the iPhone. With each purchase, you help support this channel. See you in the next video.